Hey guys, it's Skybird, and today we're going to be looking at a custom Baraki build, and I also wanted to mention a new challenge I'm going to be taking on if we can hit a certain subscriber count. Stay tuned for that. So this build right here actually does not have a name right now because although he's been built for quite a while, I just haven't I don't know. I'm not good at naming these types of characters. Maybe you guys can come up with something in the comments there. But it was all inspired by this piece right here, which actually came out in Hero Factory, specifically in the Thunder set. I love that piece. It's a really interesting one. I do think that there are a couple of little minor flaws with the piece itself, but no, nothing major. And it's a really fun one to play around with. It's got a very organic shape to it that I think works out really well for something like this. So it just attaches a couple of these little macaroni noodle pieces to each side to create a sort of hammerhead shark type aesthetic, and I really love it. I think it looks absolutely wonderful. Obviously built with the mandibles as well to really fit in with the Baraki. Maybe he is a lost seventh member of the Baraki, similar to how Vizan is sort of a seventh Baraka. And honestly, I wish I had two of these in white. I just have one right now, but I would love to build one of these with white teeth instead of the silver teeth here, as the character's main color scheme is white, black, silver, and light bluish gray. So he is a slightly asymmetric build, which is not something that I normally do, but I found this interesting little build connection here using 3 teeth on one side. And so I wanted to go ahead and do that and tie that in with a Metru armor on the back side here. As for these side fins, originally I was using the small white aqua blades from the Pride Axe set, but I didn't want to just trample the same ground as Pride Axe since he is also a shark character, so I opted to use these white Sukurak Vizrak pinchers instead, which also come out in 2007 anyway, so it really fits this character I think quite well. And it helps to kind of stretch him out a little bit, almost giving him like a subtle hint of like a manta ray type of aesthetic too, on top of him being a shark. The reason I chose claws for the character might seem a little bit weird at first, but it's actually because of shark skin specifically is known for being kind of sandpapery, and it gives me the same sort of texture on here. It's just an inspiration from the piece's shape itself. It's a very strangely shaped piece in its design, having come out in the new Paru Inika build, in the Inika set. And so the body build itself is built around a custom torso featuring the Paraka torso at the top here in silver, and then anchoring the actual hips on here at a 90-degree angle. I think if I were to go back a little bit, I would change it up slightly, so I move the hips up a little bit more. That would help to reinforce them because they can shift a little bit side to side. Nothing major thanks to the shape of the Paraka torso. And of course the character also wears Nuva armor of all things, which I think works better here because of that angle. I'm not a big fan of the Nuva armor specifically on the Paraka or Inika torsos, just because it feels too small. But when it's angled like this, it helps to kind of pull the torso forward, if that makes sense. I don't know how to describe it quite too well. With that said, though, we've also got the shark tail here. And if you guys didn't know, or at least this is what I assume LEGO was doing when they designed this piece, but it is designed to look like a shark tail, and that is true for the sea sled from the Lisovic set. Has this as a tail, and that entire vehicle has a shark motif. So I think that that's pretty cool as well. Lots of shark vibes going on in 2007, and I quite adore it. So yeah, the tail can pivot up and down. Nothing fancy. Typical, like posability, articulation, what you would expect. It is ball jointed at the neck here, which is also connected via this connection here, very similar to Gali Mystica. And there was something else I wanted to mention. Oh yeah, similar to something that I mentioned in the Liwa video, I've actually connected these feet here with the socket facing up, and that's possible using these lever axle pieces, just running it through there. I feel like that was at least intentional on LEGO's part, though I don't believe they ever did it themselves. And plenty of people have found this connection. I'm not the first, not the only one by any means. But yeah, so with that said, what is this challenge that I want to do? So this is a self-imposed challenge. This is going to be something that I plan on sort of doing across a video, or at least a couple of videos. But if you guys know, I got into building Rahi based on a challenge that I did using the Borak Va sets, taking all of the Borak Va and taking just 2 sets each and combining them all together. Doing that for every unique combination, which meant I had to design 11 different Rahi because LEGO had already designed 4 Rahi from the Borak Va, 15 in total. So what I've decided I'm going to do, although I haven't figured out the exact proportions here yet, is I'm going to take each of the Baraki sets, each of the 2007 Baraki, and I am either going to take 2 of each or 3 of each, and then make some combination model of each possible variation using one unique set per combination. So if I do 2 Baraki, then that will be 15 total combination models. If I do 3, I haven't worked out the math on that yet, but I think it's less, and maybe it's more. I don't know. So yeah, it seems like an interesting and fun challenge. Obviously, the scale, the scope of it is much larger than what I did with the VA, but I think it's something I'm ready for. I think it's going to be a fun challenge. What are my rules, if you will? I think that illegal building techniques are okay if they don't stress any parts, and if they aren't including modified or broken pieces, and so long as they're easily replicable. So as long as you can repeat it, then I will probably use it. That said, I don't plan on using any illegal building techniques. I don't have anything in mind, but that is also something that was true of the Borak Va challenge that I did. And if you guys are interested in that challenge and imposing that on yourself, if you own all of the Borak Va sets, it is something I highly recommend and I will talk about in a future video. So if you enjoyed this one, make sure to subscribe. What I wanted to say is that I will be doing this challenge if we can hit 1,500 subscribers by December 12th. So we have a full 11 days, not including today. Let's see if we can get there. And yeah, so share the video, I guess. And of course, as always, links to Discord and Instagram in the description below. Patreon's there too. There is a new tier in Patreon, so go ahead and check that out. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.